Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy D. We bring you yet another YouTube video at this time. So we are going to be talking psychics in this video today. Now, as you guys may or may not realize, we've gotten a whole resurgence of psychic support. First coming out in Duelist Advance, and we had two new psychic cards that was revealed in the new Doom set. So essentially, we have six cards in the main deck and six cards for the extra deck for the new psychic support. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about them. Now, as you guys already know, these are the evolved forms of the psychic support we got in 2011 in the Extreme Victories pack with cards like Serene Psychic Witch, Psychic Cleric, Wizard, and stuff like that. So this is more of the evolved forms and more of a resurgence of that archetype of psychic monsters. Alright, so with all that said, let's go ahead and get into the cards and talk about it. So first we have Prototype Psychic Blaster, which is the pre-evolved form of a Hyper Psychic Blaster, and of course later on we get a Psychic Blaster Mark II. Alright, so this is a level 6 Psychic with 2000 attack, 1500 defense. You can discard this card, special summon one level 4 or lower psychic monster from your hand, which is pretty good. Hand or banishment, which is even better. So if you have any lower level psychics that are banished as well off of other effects, you can just discard this and bring them back. Alright, next, if this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 1,000 to banish one other psychic monster from your graveyard to special summon this card, but banish it if it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Blaster once per turn. So this is a solid 3 of in the deck, as it can, tutor out all your other lower level psychics without committing to the board. And it can also pay 1,000 to special summon itself, also providing a body to the board as well. So you can actually, alright, it's not a hard one. You can activate both effects in the same turn, because it doesn't say once per turn and only once that turn, so you can activate both effects in the same turn. So it can essentially provide a synchro summon on its own, or rather just two bodies that you need on its own. So it's definitely a solid 3 of in the deck, as it has some decent utility in hand and in graveyard. Alright, next card is a Mind Procedure. Now this is another form of Mind Protector. So this is a level 3 psychic with 1100 attack and defense. And its effect reads, if this card you control would be used as synchro material for a psychic monster, you can treat this as a non-tuner. So, and it's also a tuner as well, so you can treat it as a tuner and as a non-tuner, depending on what your situation is. Next, you can only use one of the following effects of Mind Protector per turn, and only once that turn. If this card is special summoned by a monster effect or normal summon, you can pay 2,000 and add one teleport normal spell or quick play spell from your deck or graveyard to your hand. So we have two options here. These are the new cards, and also you can add emergency teleport from your deck or graveyard to your hand as well. Alright, next we're getting back. So effect or graveyard to your hand, and if this other fact is, if this card is banished, you can pay 1,000 life points to special summon. So that's also pretty decent as well. There are different effects that can special summon your psychics. No need to go into them. There's just a bunch of options there. Alright, solid card. Stay pretty decent in stability, as it can special summon itself, and it's a searcher for your teleport cards. Alright, next we have Serene Psychic Girl. Now this is the pre-evolved form of a Serene Psychic Witch. And this is a level 2 Psychic, 500 attack, 300 defense. The effect reads, if this card is normal or special summon, you can banish one card from your hand, and if you do, special summon one level 4 or lower psychic monster from your deck. So you can also use this to banish this. Special summon a level 3, 4, was it? Level 4 low psychic, and then this effect will activate that will special summon itself as well. So there is synergy with the cards. except another copy of itself. Also, you cannot special summon from the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Psychic Monsters. You're going to be playing in a pure Psychic deck anyway, so that doesn't matter. You can target face-up monsters on the field that have a level up to the number of Psychic monsters you control. Increase their levels by 1 until the end phase of this turn. You can only use each effect of Girl once per turn, so she can also, while special summoning from the deck, she can also level modulate to set up higher level synchro plays. Definitely a solid card, as well as it can banish to summon from deck. Alright, next card is one of the newer spells for them. This is a Parallel Teleport. This is a quick play spell. It should be one psychic monster that has level, special summon one level 7 or lower psychic monster from your deck or extra deck, which is actually pretty good as well because we have higher level synchros that are level 7 and higher. Obviously, this is level 9, this is level 8. You only have options are sorcerers and magician, and I'll get into those when I get into those. But yeah, regardless, this is a quick play, so you can do this to dodge effects like imperms or veilers or anything else that might target the card. You can use this to dodge the effect and special summon your desired monster. Right, if those monsters' original levels were different, use life points equal to the difference times 1,000. You cannot special summon this turn. You activate this card except psychic monsters. You can only activate this card once per turn. Of course, the life point cost. This deck revolves seriously heavily around life point costs, and the synchro monsters usually mm, pay pay the life point cost by gaining life points to sort of mitigate the cost that you'll be paying. All right, next card. This is Teleport Fusion. This is also a quick play spell. During your main phase, fusion summon one psychic fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing psychic monsters from your field and or graveyard as material. Okay, so of course, if you don't necessarily have to banish from field, you can also banish from graveyard after you set up your synchro or monster plays, depending on what you have going on at the time. And you can go ahead and fusion with using those cards. Alright, if a psychic monster is you control, that was special summoned from your extra deck would be destroyed by battle or card effect. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of those banished psychic monsters and special summon it. You can only use the effect of teleport fusion once per turn. So that's pretty good as well. So it kind of reacts when your opponent does stuff, and it's a fusion spell to summon out your fusion psychic plays monsters. Alright, so overall the main deck support is pretty solid. Definitely not competitive by any standard. Even with a couple with stuff like the Punk Engine or Virtual World and stuff like that. The psychics outside of Punk have never really been competitive in any form or fashion, but this is some more fun stuff you can play with the deck. Alright, so let's go ahead and hit the extra deck now. So first card we're going to talk about is a Silent Psychic Magician. Now this is the evolved form of Silent Psychic Wizard, which is the level 4 19 hitter that when summoned you can banish a psychic from the graveyard, and if it's into the graveyard you can special summon the banished psychic that was banished off its effect. So this is an evolved version of it. So this one is a level 5 psychic with 2400 attack, 500 defense, requiring one tuner and one non-tuner monsters. If this card is special summoned, you can target one level 4 or lower psychic type monster in your graveyard or banishment and special summoning. Then you can increase its level by 4. So of course you can special summon any of your psychics, level 4 level psychics here, and you can increase the level by 1. So this will become a level 3, level 4, and level 4. And this is a level 5 psychic tuner. So if you summon Mind Procedure off of it, since it can also be treated as a non-tuner, you can special summon this, get its effect to special summon from the graveyard, get its effect, or banish to get its effect to search your teleport card, and you can synchro into your level 9 or level 8 depending on what you need at the time. Also, this will search your parallel fusion. So this this searches for your parallel fusion or teleport fusion. Rather, more importantly, your teleport fusion. So when you synchro summon this and this, you have the materials you need for any one of your psychic fusions that you want to fuse using this card as your catalyst. All right, so next. Also, you cannot special summon from yesterday, rest of turn, set psychic monsters. You can only use the effects of Magician once per turn. If this card you control would be used as synchro material, you can also treat this as a non-tuner. Oh, okay. So this and this have the obvious same effects. So if you do summon this, you can still get your synchro off, regardless of what's counted as a tuner and what's counted as a non-tuner at the time. All right, so definitely a solid card. Very stable and being able to act as an extender to set off for high level synchro plays and can serve as fodder for your fusion material plays as well. So now we have Serene Psychic Sorceress. Now this is one of the cards revealed in the newest Doom set. Now this is a level 6 Psychic with 2200 attack, 2400 attack, 2200 defense. This requires a tuner and a non-tuner monster. This card is Synchro Summon. You can pay 1,000 life points to set one teleport normal or quick play spell from your deck, graveyard, or banishment. So of course this adds these two and of course the overdrive teleport. Not teleport. The emergency teleport as well to extend for more plays. Alright, next, if the Synchro Summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can target one card your opponent controls, or target two if you control a Psychic Fusion monster or Synchro monster and return those cards to the hand. You can only use each effect of Serene Psychic Sorceress once per turn. So this is also a pretty good card, as you can also reuse your teleport cards, or and it can also return cards. Your opponent controls to the hand if you control a Psychic Fusion. So you can use this. So if you wait a minute, let me see. This card sent to the graveyard, right? No. So if you use this, so if you banish this off of teleport fusion, you won't get this extra effect. So it has to be sent off of a different effect in order to get that off. Hmm. Okay, so that's interesting. Regardless of what happens, you can still send cards to your opponent's controls back to the hand. F2 if you control Psychic Fusion or Synchro Monster. Really good. And once again, it has serves two essential purposes: to recycle your teleports and to disrupt your opponent's board by sending 1 to 2 cards back to the hand. Of course, if it hits extra deck cards, it goes back to the extra deck. Next, we have Dark Cross Archfiend. Now, this is a level 8 psychic with 2500 attack, 2800 defense. This requires one psychic tuner and one more non-tuner monsters. During the main phase quick effect, you can target one of your banished level 7 or lower psychic monsters and special summon it. During the battle phase quick effect, contribute one other psychic monster, gain life points equals to its attack, and if you do, this card gains that much attack until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect once per turn. So this card is pretty solid as well. So if you use course parallel teleport fusion to you send one of your psychics synchros to the banish pile. This can special summon it, especially if you summoned Psychic Magician. You can special summon Psychic Magician, and then this effect activates will special summon a level 4 low Psychic monster from your banish or graveyard. So, they all really synergize off of one another to establish a really strong board presence and, set up OTK plays or to disrupt your opponent's board depending on what you have going on at the time. So this card is really decent, and it also mitigates life point payments by attributing one of your psychic monsters that you special summon off this effect. Alright, so now we have Psychic Blaster Mark II. Now this is a level 9 psychic with 3200 attack and 2700 defense. This required a psychic tuner and one or more non-tuner psychic monsters. You can target one banished monster, special summon it to your field. So it doesn't matter in Psychic Blaster's case, you can special summon any of your synchros or any of your main deck monsters as well, special summon them to the field. During the main phase, quick effect, you can banish one monster from your graveyard to target one other face-up monster on the field and banish it. Then gain life points equal to the banished monster's original attack. So this also mitigates life point payments by banishing your opponent's monsters and gaining life equal to their attack. Then you can only use one second blaster effect per turn and only once that turn. So of course you have to pick which one you're going to activate for whatever given situation that you're faced with. So overall, nice solid boss monster, which has a quick effect to banish your opponent's monsters. Unlike the original Hyper Psychic Blaster, which only attacks your opponent's monsters, gaining life points. This one actually it's more proactive and you know reactive on your opponent's turn, so that you can gain life points during your opponent's turn and during your turn as well. All right, next we have Exxon Kicker Oracle. Now this is a fusion that requires, which is 2900 attack, 1000 defense, level 10 psychic, that requires a psychic monster, plus one synchro, XZ, or link monster. After this card is fusion summoned, it gains 1000 attack for each synchro, XZ, or link monster used as material for its uses material until the end of the next turn. So on your initial turn, you gain either 1000 or 2000, depending on what you used at the time. And then after your opponent's next turn, pretty much it goes for 2 turns. And, then you pretty much just go from there as a big B stick to do whatever it is that you need to do with the card from there. All right, to the end of the next turn. So it's your turn, you get it, and then during the end phase of your opponent's turn, you lose the attack boost from there. Alright, so you can only use each of the following effects of Exxon Kicker Oreo per turn. When an opponent will special summon a monster or monsters, quick effect, you can negate the summon, and if you do, banish the materials. So this is pretty good when your opponent summoning multiple monsters at once, either via pendulums, pendulum summon, or effects that summon more than one monster at a time. Really good indeed. It definitely keeps your opponent on his toes. The opponent would have to think about how they summon their monsters. Of course, it's inherent summon, so summon off effects won't affect that at all. Alright, and so if you do banish the monsters, if this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard, you can banish one teleport normal or quickly spell to special summon this card. So of course Italic, of course, and these two cards as well. You can banish them to special summon this card once again. And of course, Serene Psychic Witch, when it is sent to the graveyard, it can retrieve these banished teleport cards either from your grave, grave or banish back to hand as well. So, there's more synergy between these cards as well. Lastly, this is actually a pretty solid boss monster as well. So last of the new cards, this is Absolute Exxon Kicker. Now this is the final evolved form of Ultimate Exxon Kicker as well. So this is a level 11 psychic with 3400 attack, 2200 defense, requiring one psychic synchro monster and one synchro monster. Must be first fusion summon. Must be first fusion summon. If this card is fusion summoned, you can pay 2,000 life points to banish all face-up cards your opponent controls. Now this teleport fusion is a quick play, so you can definitely fusion summon during your opponent's turn. So this effectively makes teleport fusion disruption on your opponent's turn, which will banish all their face-up cards, which actually affects as a really decent interruption on your opponent's board during their turn. Alright, cannot be destroyed by card effects, good. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, so you have to wait a turn. You can banish it, then special summon one level 10 Psychic Fusion monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon. So this effect when fusion summon will activate to power up by 1 to 2,000. But in that case, it's being special from the extra deck, so you're not using any materials for it. So the power up effect will not be applied when special summon off of Exxon kicks effect. Alright, you can actually summon Ultimate Exxon Kicker off the effect as well. Alright, this card's graveyard, banishes, special summon. Okay, it's treated as a fusion summon, and you only can use these effects of Exxon Kicker once per turn. So this is a solid boss monster as well, as it can act as disruption during your opponent's turn, and it can replace itself. You have to wait a turn, no, but it can effectively replace itself to further keep bodies on the board and continue your pressure from there. All right, overall thoughts on the second card. These are some actually pretty good stuff to play around with. Of course, not competitive by any means. Um, But yes, definitely some good stuff overall. Definitely will be trying this stuff out. I'll probably have some replays for you guys, using this stuff to play test and whatnot. Alright, so solid stuff overall. Alright, those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Of course, I will get back with you guys with that. Alright, so I will leave that at that. So I'll be bringing you guys more video in the meantime. But until then, peace. You too.